CEE Brown in your face.
Have you heard of Everything at Once?
Do you know about Everything at Once?
It's internationally known.
Aliens listen to it.
It's the best ever.
If there's something you're looking for in the 814, or feeling a little bored and think there ain't no more, check out Everything at Once and allow it to be your source. It's that raw podcast that's always showing support, highlighting the scene. No need to take I-90 to Peep or 79 to see how it be. Interviewing your locals with mindsets that are global. Innovators and creators on every single upload. So much going on in the EPA.
Incredible content.
Everything at Once will keep you up to date.
Amazing guests.
What you doing? Come through and hang with Tony and Dave.
Community driven.
Bringing everything at once from around the way. Everything at once from around the way. Hey.
Please listen. We love you. Everything at Once.
Everything at Once.
Hello,
Hi.
and welcome to another incredible, mind-blowing episode of Everything at Once. First off, we want to thank all of those people who supported us on Patreon. You guys mean so much to us. You make this all possible. We want to thank our producers, Brian G, Josh W, Ian D, Nick D G, and Sadie M.
Patreon is an awesome way to support the show and say thanks. You can become a Patreon supporter by clicking the link below and choosing to become an intern, assistant, or producer level supporter.
That's right. For just $5, you can be an intern, and we will say your name on this show. And who doesn't want that? And once we get 10, Dave's going to do something incredible.
I don't know what it's going to be, but let's just say it's going to blow your mind.
It's guaranteed to blow your mind. We now want to shout out all the local businesses that have sponsored this episode. These businesses get the Everything at Once stamp of approval. We couldn't do it without them. Wait, hold on a second, Dave. I just got a message from Cauldron and Thorne. Maybe it's something new they want us to talk about.
Maybe it's important.
2 years ago, America's first family of darkness landed in Erie, Pennsylvania. In a few short months, they built the world's largest shop, dedicated to the magical arts and metaphysical sciences. This summer, they invite you to explore the shadows of the human experience. A carefully curated catalog of arcane artifacts and occult ephemera for the discerning collector. Cauldron and Thorne proudly presents The Dark Curiosities of the Vault.
The Dark Curiosities of the Vault is what he ended that with.
The Dark Curiosity. Speaking of, was that Morgan Freeman?
It sounded a lot like Morgan Freeman. That video had that audio file had some great production, and maybe this has something to do with that show they were talking about on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It definitely could be a possibility, though.
Do you think they're talking about that new black wall that they built up with the bookshelf?
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Do you think that there's some kind of like secret passageway or something funky going on there?
At that store, anything's possible. It could lead to the nether realms, another universe, the multiverse that we always talk about in this show. Maybe that's back there. But I mean, they're really kind of leaving us hanging and leaving us a lot to guess. I guess we'll just have to wait to hear more about what's going on at Cauldron and Thorne.
Knowing our friends there at Cauldron and Thorne, the possibilities are literally endless.
Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Speaking of new construction, let's talk about our friends at Solid State.
Solid State takes pride in all home remodeling products. Solid State specializes in bathroom remodeling, kitchen renovation, window and door installation, custom design work, and more, including painting, flooring, drywall, siding, and decks. Get a free quote today by calling Nick at 814-397-7854.
Solid people.
Solid product. Solid State Construction.
Got a problem with your car? Tommy's Automotive can take care of it. They can fix anything car related. They're the most reliable, trustworthy service provider that we know.
That's right. Tommy's Automotive can take care of brakes, exhaust, fluid changes, spark plugs, and all other maintenance needs.
Tommy's Automotive also does fluid film undercoating. Book your appointment today. Call Tommy at 814-384-8088.
You know, Tony, all of this hard work plugging the sponsors, it's got me a little tired. Let me get a sip of my coffee.
What? That coffee smells incredible, Dave.
Well, it should, Tony, because it's ours.
Oh, yeah, well, of course. That makes sense. Everything at Once Studios now has our own coffee, the Everything at Once Roast, made by North Edge Craft Coffee. Message me or Dave to get your bag today.
Yeah, do it. North Edge Craft Coffee is your local specialty coffee roaster. North Edge Craft Coffee takes pride in being a local favorite. They believe with their reasonable prices, fresh roasted product, and creative coffee options, they're a hit in any mug.
Any mug.
North Edge Craft Coffee can be bought on their website, northedgecoffee.com, or at their store location on 1222 Linden Avenue between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
And today, just for you, we have aspiring comedian Jim Franks joining us for a crowd favorite and Dave's favorite.
The very patriotic July 4th Independence Day edition of Am I the Asshole?
Enjoy.
Necessarily live, but...
Not necessarily live, but we are recording now.
And this is America's birthday.
It is America's birthday. Actually, I think this is America's birthday is going to be tomorrow. We're celebrating today.
Happy early birthday,
just
America.
for you guys. Happy early birthday, America.
Much like a white woman in her 20s, it's birthday every day of the week this week.
Yeah,
it's a
right.
birthday week.
It's a birthday week.
Of course.
Yeah.
And today, joining us in the studio, we got Jim Franks.
Oh, hey. I was just about
Welcome.
to start humming a patriotic hymn for our God Bless America.
That would have been excellent. Feel free if that strikes you during this
Okay.
episode.
You think
you're welcome to.
maybe like behind every asshole asking if they're the asshole, we should like do a little humming of the Star Spangled Banner because that's
Yeah.
America, right?
That is
It would be
America.
nice.
We're a bunch of assholes.
If you shed some tears listening because you're swelling up with patriotism,
That's-
just let it go. Let it go. That's what we're here for.
I probably will cry at some point.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's the 4th. It's the middle of summer.
Bombs bursting in air.
Hopefully the smoke has cleared by this point from Canada. Fuck Canada.
Yeah,
First
God
off,
damn it.
Trying to ruin our American birthday.
Terrence and Phillip.
It's the worst. And to celebrate this holiday, like many of the other holidays, we have scrolled through Reddit for you, through the depths,
me.
especially for Jim, for all the listeners out there. Everybody, we went through and we found a bunch of really great 4th of July themed Am I the Asshole questions. And today we're going to dole out more fierce judgment that you know and love.
It's been a while since we've done this, and I think I missed the last one. It was Valentine's Day, so I haven't done it since Christmas, and
It's been a while.
I am ready to judge some people.
Valentine's Day, Am I an Asshole must have just been a
There were some good
trove.
ones there. Yeah, 4th of July I feel like has less options than the Valentine's Day. But
The Valentine's
we
Day,
found some.
there were less, or there were a million Am I the Assholes. It's not a good time for people, Valentine's Day.
I was surprised. Maybe we should get ahead of 4th of July for next year because the thing that I was looking for is like inappropriate like fireworks setting off, and I never really found that in any of my Am I the Assholes.
Ooh,
So
well,
like, maybe we should like pre-record for next year.
I feel
Right. So should
Can
we
we
set
hear
off
now?
fireworks like
We could hear you before,
assholes
but
to
now we
make the
extra can.
stories? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm
I
just
don't
saying
have
that
any
like
fireworks in here, but we could. I feel
We
like
could get some.
we could get some. We could set them off in here. I mean, it's all
Not
concrete.
in here. We need to go somewhere to make ourselves assholes to set the fireworks off.
yeah.
Oh.
Am I the ass?
There were a few on there
We
about
need to
that.
create.
see,
the
I couldn't
content.
find. That's what I was looking for. Is
The fireworks.
am I the
themes.
asshole for setting off fireworks and or asking
Right.
people to stop setting off fireworks? I
there's
assumed
both.
that's what.
Both.
I was expecting to see a lot of those.
I found multiple ones. Although, if you set off a Roman candle in here, and next year it's like, am I the asshole for burning down a forest tapestry in a podcast studio? We know it's gonna be you, Jim.
It will. Classic Jim move.
You ready to start us off?
Yeah, let's start this off. So we're gonna start off with this one. Am I the asshole for hanging up a Union Jack on the 4th of July? Okay, so this is posted now. On the 3rd of July, our office decorates for the 4th of July festivities. However, I am British and moved to Texas 4 years ago.
Ooh, why would you do that? First off,
Before this year, yeah, we're off to a good
This person
start.
is not conflict averse at all.
So before this year, I've never decorated my desk area, and I haven't celebrated the 4th of July in any capacity. However, since I've been at this job for 4 years now, I thought I'd get involved and try bring a bit of British humor to the situation.
British humor, classic.
So on the 3rd of July, I came into work with a Union Jack and hung it up on the wall behind me. I work in the corner, and I placed a poster I made which was of the British Empire at its height to my left. I decorated the front of my desk with cutouts of things such as a picture of the White House burning down in 1812. Winston,
A bit aggressive.
Winston Churchill, a giant NHS sticker, crumpets tea, pictures of the 13 colonies, the Queen firing a gun, rest in peace. I did this as I thought it'd be a funny little joke and a way for me to join in with the office crew, of which there are 8 of us, because in previous years, people have noticed my lack of participation and commented on it. One woman in the office last year even told me that either have fun or keep out of the way. However, 2 people in the... Oh, yeah. It gets worse.
Plot thickens.
However, 2 people in the office reported me to HR for being unpatriotic and anti-American.
Wow.
And one woman told them that I was disrespectful. HR came to me on Friday and told me that I had to take down my items, and when I asked why no one else had to take theirs down, they told me that I just had to do it because putting them up was a dick move anyways.
HR said that to him.
And not in the spirit of the holiday. However, some people keep American flags up all year round at their desks, so I don't see why I couldn't have mine for a few days. So am I the asshole?
Wow. That's
This
a
guy-
great story.
That is a good story. It's very interesting. I'm surprised. I don't know why he would move to Texas, of all places, from the UK.
It had to have been for this
For the job, yeah.
I feel like there's no other reason a British person would willingly move to Texas.
I feel like that's not the place where I imagine British people really fitting into American culture.
Yeah, I feel like this guy had some kind of like low key. He wanted to live the American experience from the beginning to end. So he moved to Texas like a cowboy,
Right.
and then like wanted to upset Americans. Like he wanted to live the British experience in America.
Right.
He's just upsetting Americans.
I feel like if there's one thing that Americans hate, it's British humor. So his attempt at it in an office full of Texans fell on deaf ears.
I
thought it was hilarious.
But this guy's example of British humor was burning down the White House. Is that like classic British humor?
I mean,
That
I
might
would
have been crossing the
I
line
would
a
have
little
giggled
bit.
if I saw
See,
that.
I'm
not
about
gonna lie.
burning down the White House in some situations.
I mean, it wasn't like a modern day.
It was 1812.
It was when it happened in 1812, which actually happened. So, like,
I don't think it. Did they have
did.
cameras back then, though?
No.
It's
no,
like
I
a
don't think they had
modern
cameras.
recreation of the White
I'm
House
sure
burning
it was
of
like
1812.
an artist recreation at the time. Like, they had drawings.
Yeah.
So are you saying like it would have been appropriate for him to have like an action shot
Like
of
a
Abraham
historical?
Lincoln being assassinated, like because it's a picture, because it's a drawing and not a picture?
That didn't have anything to do with the war between the United States and the British. Like, all of his stuff was
Okay, I see what you're saying.
pertaining
Yes.
to the British and the Americans fighting for like America's independence.
So
Except the Queen firing the gun. I feel like that was just a flex.
That's actually like a beautiful America and British like
union
together.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, this is what I'm getting at is they're upset about the patriotic moves down there and unpatriotic moves down there in Texas. But I feel like every time the slightest inconvenience happens to a Texan, they want to secede from the United States.
true.
So how patriotic are they really?
Right.
Maybe
Well, if you ask one of them, I think they'd say the most.
The most. Oh, for sure.
They're
Right.
patriotic for Texas.
they're
Right.
patriotic for
Patriotic for
Texas.
Texas.
And Texas happens to be a part of the United States.
The biggest.
The biggest part. It is.
At least continental.
I do also kind of find it ironic that people in Texas would probably be like, "Oh, free speech," but then like they
Yeah,
take
not the
this
free
guy's
speech
free
we don't
speech
like.
away. Not that free speech.
Yeah, that brings me to I want to know the timeline of this situation because I got a little confused when you were reading it. So was he saying that they were like giving him shit for not celebrating at other 4th of July's?
That's
because
correct.
if that's the case, this guy's 100% not an asshole.
Right.
Like if they reported him to HR for not celebrating and then
Report him
he did
for-
this, like
But he wasn't really celebrating the 4th of July. Let me back it
No,
up.
he's definitely starting fires.
Let me back it up for all our proud Americans out there holding your Coors Light and wearing your American flag shirts and listening to Kid Rock. Let me tell you something. When it's the 3rd of July, you do not fly the Union Jack in our country.
Proud to be an American.
But I feel like that really added a lot with the humming there.
It did.
Yeah.
That was a very nice.
It was
backdrop.
powerful.
Thank you.
You could run for president.
I think
I have
I think I
chills
might.
now, actually.
I think I might.
But this guy, I feel like I'm going to go with a boss move. That was a boss move to be like, yeah, you're celebrating 4th of July. Well, fuck you. I'm celebrating England and the
Right.
Queen.
I want to go back to, again, he was saying I'm attempting British humor. In England, to kind of like make fun of the government in a way like that is more common. It's more acceptable, whereas, like, I feel like the way that he did it in the UK, like, nobody would have really thought anything of it. Mm-hmm. But you bring that to America and they just, like, they don't get it. They're not about that.
I feel like he wasn't making fun of the government, though.
He was making fun of the Americans that he worked with.
Right.
He was taking pride in the UK. And I don't know how the UK really handles situations where they're like, fuck the... Well, I guess there's...
I'll tell you what they do. They move across an ocean and then
Texas?
they fucking beat them in a war. That's how they
All their
handle
offspring
the UK
move to
government.
Texas and then report the UK people to the HR. That's
Right.
how they do it.
Yeah. But I think that if people were doing... it's not like directly anti-USA. It's pro something else. And it's a spiteful move to do that, I feel like, especially if he's doing it because they used to make fun of him for not being American enough.
I think I'd be okay with it if they were literally any other... came from any other country. If they had any other origin story besides being British.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like the British people have a real. They shouldn't be on that high moral horse. Like they have a
Right.
long history of being a problem.
I don't know. What if I was from China and I hung up the China flag in my office?
I think that'd be okay. Because you know what?
What if I only hung it up directly on the 4th of July, though?
I think it'd be okay. I mean, I would be okay
As
with
long
it.
as there wasn't a picture of Xi Jinping kicking Joe Biden in the nuts, it would be fine.
Right.
No, actually, that might be the most American thing you could hang up in Texas. They would love that shit down there.
Which, to take this full circle, I mean, this guy owned the Texans, which is really as American as it gets right now. Like,
That's true.
Texans are trying to own the libs. This guy owned the Texans. Come on.
true.
He comes out on top.
He definitely won this battle.
Yeah.
No,
And especially because they had to go tattle to their HR like, oh, this guy's got a flag
I
up. He's
know.
got
He
a
hurt my feelings.
Snowflakes in Texas.
big surprise.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that one coming.
I think I'm the outlier on this one because
You're gonna say he's the asshole?
damn it, yes I am. Because again, British, this whole holiday is based around the absolute stomping of the British Empire. Okay? No Union Jacks in my
4th of July.
Not your 4th of July
July
office party.
If I go to a party on Tuesday and someone's wearing a British flag, I'm like, kick their ass.
All I want here is stars and stripes and bomb pops, bitches. Like,
As my one shirt says, "Caw motherfucker" with an eagle on it. So,
I feel like this guy, he's justified, but my sense of American patriotism that I've grown up with and my love for 4th of July and fireworks and all the good things that happen and grilling meats and all the fun stuff that happens on 4th of July makes me think this guy is an asshole. I feel like if he could have hung that flag up and had all that stuff, if he would have had it like year round or like decided to hang it up on any day other than the 4th of July, I would absolutely not have a problem with it. But since he did do it strictly in a disrespectful way to America, to Texas, to all the people in his office, specifically for the 4th of July, I'm going to go with you, Dave. I'm going to say that this guy is the asshole.
I just have one more thing to add on my end. In these kind of situations, I always go by the WWWTRD. What would Walker Texas Ranger do? Okay, and I feel like Chuck Norris would roundhouse kick.
he would have
person
kicked that
out of
picture of the
face.
White House.
He
at
would not
least.
approve of this situation, so.
Who else would we?
Jim, what's your
So,
verdict?
This guy come on, he's definitely the asshole, and he knows he's the asshole. Isn't that kind of like a win-win? And then the other thing about it, here's what I have an issue with the writer, is because he's like trying to Hugh Grant the fact that he's like being an actual asshole. He was trying to like English, like, oh god, did I hurt your feelings, Americans? Oh no, oh dear. And it's like, dude, you fucking know. You put a picture of the burning White House out there, and that's gonna upset your coworkers.
I'm also going to paraphrase by saying that this guy is definitely the asshole, but I'm not saying that I don't respect his power move or appreciate the fact that he was being an asshole to his coworkers and to America, because I feel like that's something that's very important and very American in itself, is to be disrespectful to your government and to your surroundings.
I think all these Texas tattletales got exactly what was coming to them. That's what I think.
Right. I agree.
Celinda, what's your
take?
I mean, my heart wants me to say that he's not the asshole, because I think this whole thing is hilarious. I would so deeply appreciate this if I ever saw it unfolding
That's what I'm saying.
in real life.
Like, yeah, you're an asshole, but you're the kind of asshole
like
I want to hang out with.
He was provoked.
I want to be
into
on this
it.
guy's team.
You know what I mean? He was provoked into this. He kept to himself the past couple 4th of Julys, and these Texans around him were like, oh, you're not celebrating, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, you want me to celebrate? All right, I'll celebrate. And then they didn't like the way he did it. So you know what? I'm going to say he's not the asshole, because I like this guy.
Okay.
I think the people that are the assholes are the ones that reported him to HR.
Those guys are definitely assholes.
What's
too.
wrong with you?
Reporting people to HR is like being in the dollar store. Like, you got to ask yourself if you're making the right decisions.
Right.
Like,
yeah, come on. So I'm going to say he's not the asshole, because I like that guy.
Good for you.
respect.
I understand and respect that. This is the first time where, maybe not the first time, I feel like we've had other situations where we've had assholes that I've been completely in support of and agreed with.
Yeah, that's happened a lot.
It's happened a lot.
It's happened quite a bit.
It's happened more than once.
I mean, just God save the king in this situation.
God save
the king.
God save the king. No.
And God bless America.
God bless America. Thank you.
All right. So, I have another one here for you guys. This one I thought was really funny. Am I the asshole? Wore an offensive shirt and ruined 4th of July weekend.
I love it already. I can't wait to see what this shirt is.
It's a picture of the White House burning down in 1812.
I actually laughed so much that I had to like set my phone down and like reassess my whole life when I was reading it. Okay,
man.
I, 20-year-old female, live a few hours away from my parents and decided to visit for the 4th of July. My mother's a terrible person. She's a narcissist,
Noted.
mega religious, pro-life, anti-vax, etc.
Off to a great
You get
start.
the picture.
Wow.
She has abused me in different ways my whole life, but after I moved out and got married, she has tried to be friends and acting like none of the trauma ever happened. My dad is also conservative, but he's a nice person and cares about other people, unlike my mother, who is known as the town Karen. I wore a shirt to their house that said, "I'm not gay, but my asshole is." On the back. I found it at Goodwill and thought it was funny. Plus, it's the most comfortable shirt I've ever owned. My parents saw it and my dad was laughing it off. Was obviously a little uncomfortable and offered me one of his shirts to wear instead. I was a little peeved, but I put on my shirt and joked, "What happened to freedom of speech?" My dad laughed and said the shirt was a little shocking to his generation. Okay, whatever, Dad, but I get it. My mom, on the other hand,
Dad.
was livid. She started yelling at me about how America has gone to shit ever since gay marriage was legalized and said I was disgusting for wearing the shirt like that, and that gay people are disgusting, and that changed into an anti-abortion rant. I didn't want to stoop to her level and grabbed my keys off the table and left their house after only being there for maybe an hour. Once I got home, I blocked my mom on everything, but now that the anger had passed, I feel like I was being an asshole and that I shouldn't have worn the stupid shirt, that I knew it was going to cause trouble. Am I the asshole?
There's a lot to unpack in there.
That is a lot going on.
I think it's an interesting story. So I feel like we're almost in a similar situation where somebody does something that they know is going to stir the pot a little bit, she probably wasn't expecting the kind of reaction that she got, but definitely went in there to try and make some people feel some sort of way.
Right. Like, what's the overarching phenomenon that's happening here that people are intentionally walking into places, upsetting people, and then coming out and being like, "What the asshole? What's going on? I don't understand. That wasn't me." Like,
I want to know how just your asshole can be gay.
Well, I'm kind of interesting how just a female's asshole can be gay.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
good
that's what I was thinking about too.
Yeah.
So as a female, I feel like it makes less sense for her to wear that shirt, but it's still hilarious.
It doesn't make much sense for her to wear that shirt, but I do think it was very funny.
Yeah. I feel like she knew, like, even if she didn't really, like, consciously recognize it, like, she knew how her mom was going to react. Considering, like, that
long
introduction that she gave us to her mother. She knew that she would react like that. So, I mean, like, did she wear it as an excuse to be like, I won't have to hang out?
We do have a history on this show, just to say, of always blaming the children and saying that they are the asshole because
Right.
they always are.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no children.
Though
to
she's
blame
not
this time. Oh.
legally a child anymore.
Yeah,
she
she's-
is the children.
She's not what I would consider, like, the asshole child, though.
No,
Because I normally always blame the children.
almost always.
Yeah.
Very consistently. Blame the children.
but I mean, like, I don't know. Moms be momming. You know, like,
Right.
why are you gonna? You know what that shirt is gonna do when you wear it to any family picnic.
Right. I mean,
know?
maybe she needed that one final straw to, like, break ties with her mom. Because she said, you know, like, oh, as she's got older, her mom's tried to be nicer to her, so she feels like she has an obligation to try and salvage that relationship, even if she doesn't really want to. She's like, I'm going to wear this shirt and see how she reacts. And then if she's
Yeah.
a bitch about it,
If she really
I
wants to be
never have to
friends.
talk to her again. Problem solved.
I don't like how she backed down. She put a shirt over the
Yeah.
shirt. Like, if you're gonna ride in there, that
Did she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the dad.
her dad gave
Yeah,
her a
I
shirt.
said her dad offered it to her, but did she say she put it on?
She put it on, yeah.
Okay.
So the fact that, you know, you get that far, you make this bold statement in the second that, you know, dad's like, oh, that's, you know, haha, I'm uncomfortable, put the shirt on. She goes, okay. Mm-hmm. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta
I
stand
feel like
your
a real
ground.
asshole would stand their ground in
Yeah.
that situation.
No, what's to be upset about, Mom?
Yeah,
Right.
come on,
I
it's
think
just a shirt.
It probably
Mom.
would have been different if her mom was like, put this shirt on. But since
Yeah.
the nicer parent was like, listen, please, like, this is making me
The
uncomfortable.
dad is probably honestly trying to smooth. He probably gets all the shit from that mom all the
Oh,
time,
yeah.
every day, and he's like,
100%.
"God damn it, little Susie, you just fucked up the rest of the week because your mom is not gonna stop bitching about this."
Sounds like her angle is she's trying to make this an Independence Day for her dad. Sounds like she's trying to
Yeah.
start a divorce, you know, the beginnings of a divorce here. You
Nothing.
know?
There's
Yeah.
nothing more American than divorce.
I have a feeling, though. I have a feeling that this dad is checked out, though. I have a feeling he's way
100%.
checked out.
Do you
He's like,
think-
here,
100%.
take a shirt.
Yeah, do you think he's got
Yeah.
does he got his Xanax prescription?
Oh, he's got a Xanax
Mm-hmm.
prescription. He's got his med card. He has a den in his house, like
with nice
he's-
fine whiskeys.
right,
Right.
fine whiskeys.
So he has a wet bar.
Let the women fight. That's how my generation used to do it. That's what the dad says.
I think
Right.
like it's you're like, oh, you pro-vax and gay, pro LGBT, and that's horrible. But then you probably voted for Ronald Reagan, Mom, and he did more fucking than any gay people have done. He fucked so many Americans.
true.
Like,
True. And he continues to fuck Americans to this day.
yeah, his ghost, the ghost of Ronald Reagan.
Still fucking us.
Still fucking
when,
us.
when you go to bed tonight, there's a chance that you might get fucked by the ghost of Ronald Reagan.
so true.
Don't sleep with your mouth open.
Ronald Reagan will creep in there.
Yeah, and he'll be confused where he is because
He'll
he
be
had
there.
dementia.
Right.
So,
If you got a bowl of jelly beans, leave it by the door to distract him.
some
It's
nasty
like
hard
sage.
candies.
I think that I'm gonna go with the mother is the asshole. Actually,
Oh, obviously.
the dad, the mom and the dad are definitely assholes. I'm gonna say that the dad is an asshole for placating the mother. That's a different kind of asshole than we're used to seeing, you know what I mean? It's not like the in-your-face asshole, but it's like the soft-spoken, passive-aggressive asshole.
I think that the dad's the asshole too, and I was going to get to that. But I think it's for that exact reason. He passed his passive-aggressive trait on to his daughter. If he was assertive, Mom probably wouldn't be around. Or if she was assertive, she would just figure this shit out, burn the bridge if she has to, and move on instead of buying a shirt that says her asshole's gay.
Well, I mean, she's allowed to buy it, but you probably just don't wear that shirt to your mom's house on 4th of July.
You can absolutely buy it, but she didn't buy it just because she's like... Well, the way she made it sound, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gay, or, I'm going to wear this shirt all the time. It's like, I bought it just so I can wear it to my parents' house.
No, she said it's one of her favorite shirts.
Didn't
it's
she
one
say
of the most
it's the most comfortable shirt?
Most comfortable shirt she's ever owned.
I want to see a picture of the shirt. I want to,
I know.
hold the fabric between my fingers to decide if this girl is an asshole or not.
Right.
That's what I think.
Comes down to the comfort level of the shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that she is not an asshole because wearing a shirt shouldn't make a difference in whether or not your mom's going to freak out, I don't think. In the grand scheme of things, I would hope that I'd be able to wear whatever shirt I want and my mom not have a big, conniption about it.
Ooh, that's tough.
I think they're all assholes. I think if you're a guest at this 4th of July picnic, you're like...
This family
you're talking to the dad. You're like, Fred, do something about this. Your daughter and your wife are fighting in the middle of this picnic.
But
Yeah,
if
we
it
brought our
was like
kids
at
here.
her parents' house,
daughter's
are
wearing an
you
asshole
really
shirt.
a guest at your parents' house? When you go to your parents' house, do you feel like a guest?
After you're 18, you're a guest. That's what I tell my kids.
So, no, I'm not going to go there.
Just kidding.
But
I want to say that she's an asshole for not expecting her mom to blow up like that. I feel like from her description of her, she should have been well aware of how her mom was going to react, and she should have been prepared for that. And
But just because she doesn't want to placate her mother, I don't think should make her the asshole.
I think her and the British guy need to get together and date and be agent provocateurs at different people's work
Family
and family
gatherings.
functions.
Yeah.
Right.
I would never invite those two to my 4th of July party.
No?
No. The British guy?
I would
The
invite
British
the girl.
guy?
I would
I
invite
don't-
Okay.
invite both of them to my parties.
I'd invite the girl.
I don't give a fuck what shirt you wear.
Yeah.
I'm going to pat you on the back and say that's awesome if you wear that shirt to my 4th of July party.
In America,
Get the song.
in America, we do aggression. We got guns. We got God.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today.
We have country music.
And ain't no doubt I love this land.
I'm proud to be an American.
God bless the USA.
I would let the girl come to any of my parties. There ain't no wacky Brits coming to my 4th of July cookout
No way.
with their burning White House. But we've covered that. No.
I feel like that guy really doesn't give a shit about Britain either. He's just
No.
he doesn't give a fuck about Britain. He'll go
Right.
burn the British flag with us on the grill in the fire and hang out and have a good time.
Right. Is there
He's strictly doing this out of spite.
Yeah.
Is there a separate "Am I the asshole" for people who post troll memes on Facebook? I think these people belong to it.
Does he have a God, I don't want to go back to the first one. Does he have a British accent? Because that's all it takes
He
for me
has
on the
to.
4th. I don't want to hear no British accents on the 4th of July.
You existing in this country
Wow.
is an abomination.
You don't like it? You can
Get out.
Don't you guys want to enjoy some delicious sausages here on this
Get out.
4th of July?
See, exactly. I don't want to hear that. You want a beer? How about a tea?
I would rather
No.
have a tea.
Do they-
I'll have a pint
They
of
definitely
brown,
drink.
please.
beer in England.
They do drink beer.
They drink pints.
They drink scotch or I
No,
don't
they
know.
drink beer.
They drink beer.
They drink pints.
And England has way better bar names than we have in America.
Oh, yeah.
They're all the Skulking Goat and
I will hear no more of this blasphemy.
sorry.
We
Proud to be
gotta
an
stick to
American.
the problem at hand here
Yeah.
with this I'm not gay but my asshole is. shirt.
She's not the asshole. Her gay asshole isn't the asshole. The mother I think is the asshole in this situation.
I think the mother is obviously the asshole, and like although I don't love how she reacted to her mom reacting, I don't think she's an asshole, but mostly because again just find it really hilarious for like ultra conservative Christian people to get all riled up about dumb shit like that.
Gag shirt.
It tickles my fancy, so you know what? A+ for her.
While I completely agree with you, though, I think we should like set a precedent. Like, I think that the aggressor is like, if you're asking, am I the asshole, and you're the aggressor in the situation like this, like the daughter's the asshole.
I don't think
Like,
she
you
was the
knew-
aggressor though.
She wore a
If she
shirt
was
that she knew
if she
gonna
was an
offend her mom.
aggressor, she wouldn't have changed her shirt.
Nah, there's some very twisted mom and dad dynamics going on here that I don't
Yeah.
even want to know about, like some daddy's girl shit going on that I'm not.
Do you think there's something going on between the
No,
dad and the daughter?
David.
Is that what you're saying?
David.
Ew.
Mind out
I
of the
just mean a
gutter.
weird dynamic. The dad's protecting the daughter from the mom and vice versa.
Well, it sounds like the mom is insane, so
Fair.
somebody
She's
needs
probably
to
needed
protect
protection
her
a lot from that dad.
Do you think she's
from the mom. The dad needed to protect her from the
Yeah,
mom.
exactly.
for
That's
sure.
what I meant.
Interesting.
So you're saying she is the asshole?
I think she's the asshole.
I don't
Again, I will take that same stance that we took with the British guy of like, I'm with her. I
Yeah.
agree with everything about her, but
Right.
like, if I take my pants off at the party, like, I'm the asshole, you know? Like,
Even if everybody laughs.
right. Even if people laugh, I'm the asshole.
So Celinda says she's not the asshole. She
She's
is.
not the asshole.
Dave says not the asshole. Jim says yeah, she's the asshole.
Asshole.
And I'm gonna go with the father is the asshole.
So by a vote of 2-1-1, she's not the asshole. And there's two assholes in the situation. Well, there's three.
There's three
The
assholes
mother,
in
the
this
father,
situation.
and the daughter. Everybody's an asshole.
Everybody's an asshole
I guess.
by one of us, or all of us.
I feel like
there's-
we
a lot
all
of these
can agree
situations
that the
have more
mother
than
is an
one
asshole.
asshole.
Right. The mother is an asshole,
We're
but
all
in
in
this
agreement
situation.
on
asshole.
that.
Yeah.
She's the worst.
The mother's the asshole. The queen asshole.
Yeah.
She's the asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the town Karen, so how could you not be an asshole?
Yeah, she's horrible. All right, Dave, you got another one for us?
She probably
I
works
think
at that
Celinda's
place.
got one.
Celinda, do you have one for us?
I have one.
All right.
I'm going to defer. If we have time for another one, I'll throw it down.
Okay, this is. Am I the asshole for refusing to take my sister-in-law's dogs on our annual doggy camping trip? First of all, love the idea of a doggy camping trip. All right. My husband, 36 male, and I, 37 female, are very close with his family. Several times a year, we do family camping trips, and we always take the dogs with us. We have 2 dogs. My father-in-law has 3 dogs. My sister-in-law has 2 dogs. One is 10 years old, and one is 1 year old. So this is about the sister-in-law, and she's wondering if she's an asshole towards her, because she goes back with these in-laws a bunch. One of these trips is over 4th of July, with the main purpose being to get our dogs out of town before the fireworks start. This
the
year,
asshole. Not the asshole
Yeah.
to
right,
the dogs.
right.
Not the asshole to the neighbors
Right,
either,
not the
trying
asshole
to
to
tell
the
them
neighbors.
not to
Right.
shoot off their fireworks.
Exactly.
This year, my father-in-law let us all know that he's taking my mother-in-law to an ocean vacation that week. My husband and I are keeping their 3 dogs for the week. After some consideration, my husband and I decided to go camping with the 5 dogs. So just the 2 of them and 5 dogs. We will have regardless of location over the 4th because it still made sense to us to get them out of town. My father-in-law offered their camper for my sister-in-law and husband to use, and we offered to tow it out since they have no experience with towing. My sister-in-law and her husband decided to stay in town and celebrate the 4th with their friends instead of going camping, since it won't be the whole family anyways. The issue came up yesterday.
Decided.
The issue came up yesterday when my sister-in-law asked whether she needed to pack the dogs' crates and food, or if we would be covering the food for their dogs as well. I told her we didn't plan on taking her dogs, since she and her husband chose to stay in town instead of going camping. She blew up, saying I was being controlling and trying to force them to not spend time with friends. She said it was abusive of me to not take her dogs since we never spend any time with them, and they need to bond with the whole pack. Plus, her oldest dog is the one most afraid of fireworks, so forcing that dog to stay home during the 4th was just cruel. My stance is that we aren't forcing the dogs to stay home. They are by choosing to stay in town. Truthfully, we don't spend time with her dogs because they are out of control. Neither of the 1-year-old dogs have any training. Her old dog is also untrained. And our Yorkie was just rescued a few months ago, so her training is very limited. So we're already looking at 2 untrained dogs on this trip. We are taking a single camper and will already be overrun by 5 dogs to our 2 humans. My father-in-law and husband were firmly on my side, but now my mother-in-law is on my sister-in-law's side, and the men just want to keep the peace by us taking the dogs. Am I the asshole
Familiar story.
if I told her we couldn't take her dogs if they weren't going camping?
Well, that was a lot.
It's a lot.
First off-
It's a lot.
That's one of my personal pet peeves is when people have like these expectations that you're going to do something or that they're automatically included when they when the situations change. That really bothers me.
Well, especially
First
because
off.
they decided to change the situation. Like,
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna stay home. You take the dogs. Like at first,
And they just
they're
assumed.
all going, and then they're like, no, we're not going. And then you're like, oh, okay. And then they're like, but you're still taking the dogs, right? Except they aren't even like that. They just get mad when they realize that they didn't.
right. They're just like, oh, do you need food for the dogs that you're taking? And
Or
they're
are
like,
you going to cover it?
are you
What
going
if-
to
First
pay
off,
for
what a
my
bold swing.
dog's food? Yeah. And the one dog is 10 years old. I have to imagine it's got to be on like some special type of diet food to keep it healthy.
And he's
you know what
not
I mean?
potty trained.
He's not potty trained.
10 years old.
That makes me think that he probably doesn't have a special diet, even if he should, if the
Right.
dog's not even potty trained.
Yeah, well, it didn't say he's not potty trained. Just that he's not trained.
Oh,
like
not
he doesn't
trained,
have training, so
Mm-hmm.
he's just like does whatever he wants,
So,
and
like,
both the
can't
dogs are
save
just like
people in the
out of
Alps
control
with
or
root
like
beer barrel.
jumping on people, will run away. I'm assuming that type of thing, like my dad's dogs, basically.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have dogs, why are you having dogs if you're not even putting in the effort to get them like trained, potty trained,
Have them be
well
a good
mannered?
boy. That's like part of the
Right.
best part of having a dog is having the pride of Austin, my beloved dog, being such a good boy.
Because you don't
he's a
want to.
good boy.
You don't want
He
to
is a good
lie.
boy.
You when you say you're such a good, who's the good boy? You want it to
You don't
be
wanna
the
lie to your
truth.
dog.
Yeah, you can't lie.
And
to
then when
your
people leave,
dog.
they're like, "Wow, your dog's such a good boy," and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's because of
you.
me.
right."
Which everything we're saying about dogs in this could be replaced with children. Like this entire "Am I the asshole?" could be about kids.
It seems like they take their dogs pretty seriously, like they are children already.
That's what I'm saying. Like these people are they don't want that dog to not bond with the pack.
Yeah,
it's
that
10 years
part
old.
was
Like that
so-
ship has sailed.
That part made me
Right?
laugh.
A little late.
They need to hang out with their friends.
Have you ever been part of a wolf pack? I know they're not wolves, but like, have you ever been part of a wolf pack with other humans? It's you got to bond. You got to bond with the wolf pack.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I mean, I'm a lifetime beta, so I know what it's like. I need that alpha to like show me around.
I've been in 2 wolf packs.
Were you the
As
alpha
an
or the
adult.
beta, Dave?
I was probably the beta in one and the
delta.
alpha in the other.
Okay.
there you
All
go.
right, 50-50. That's
Gamma.
not bad.
So I'd say that you need those experiences. Now, that doesn't mean that I agree with the situation at hand. I just agree with the fact that you do need the pack to be strong if they're going to be rolling deep together.
Yeah.
7 dogs is a big pack
And for 2 people,
in a camper.
Yeah, and where are
that's
they
too
going
much.
camping? Have
Right.
you ever been to a state park where like people have their 7 dogs in the camper next to you and they're all losing their minds?
They're just like running around.
and you're 10 feet away from them.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
no
too much.
thanks.
And especially if 3 of those 7 dogs are untrained, not going to listen to anything. I thought it was crazy how the sister-in-law like blew up and she's like, "This is controlling. You're being abusive by not taking my dog camping with you because he's afraid of fireworks."
Do you
So-
guys have siblings?
I don't.
Yes.
I do.
I do.
Yeah.
There's like there's a whole other sibling side quest that needs to go down on this "Am I the asshole?" and like
That's true.
understand the sisterly relationship that's going on here.
That's true.
Because objectively, that sister is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like that you would assume someone is taking your 2 untrained dogs with their other 5 dogs to a campground.
Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna go against the grain here and say that Austin, my dog, is my child. And if this was a situation where these dogs were children and you weren't taking your 2 cousins on a camping trip anymore because the mom and dad wanted to stay home after you'd already said that they're going and stuff like that, then you are absolutely the asshole in this situation.
For not taking the dogs? For not taking the cousins?
The children.
Oh,
the cousins.
Give me a break.
Yeah, no, that's on the cousin's parents.
I don't know. I see it. It really depends. I need to know more about 10-year-old and 1-year-old dogs' behavioral issues.
Yeah.
Because maybe the "Am I the Asshole" poster is like real high maintenance, and like by not trained, that just means like it doesn't like sing and dance like her dogs.
Maybe. That's true.
They got a fucking camper. You know what?
Right,
What are
that's
they? Are they
true.
CEOs of companies? Like they can. That's can they afford for all of the dog food for the town they live in?
Right.
Like which doesn't preclude them to have to do things if they got the money. But it sounds like maybe they're more financially or mentally well off than the other party.
Also,
at hand.
in this situation, if you're taking 2 children or dogs with you, you're going to bring food for those children, right? So in this situation, you would kind of expect, if these are your children, that they would have food for them on the trip.
True.
But
or
I
if
would
I should give them some extra food, do they need like some granola bars or some snacks or some pop or whatever to go on the trip?
It reminds me of the Halloween episode where the one girl
The
couldn't
diabetic
eat chocolate.
candy.
She was diabetic. She's a little Scott Malkinson. We've been there before. And you know what? You just live with the disappointment. Pack the fucking snacks for your diabetic child.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. What if your
Concur.
kid has like food allergies? You wouldn't expect the people that are taking them to buy all their special food for them. No, you would supply
Maybe
that.
if it was your sister and their cousin, and you spend a lot of time taking these children or dogs or whatever, these family members.
I would say if
with
you're
you bring them their special food or whatever.
If you're an
you get
asshole, you
sugar-free
expect
pop.
that of somebody else. But if you are a courteous person, you would supply
And if
it.
you're a courteous person, you have it ready for them when you're taking on that responsibility.
I feel like, and I don't mean this in an offensive way, but I feel like your lack of siblings shows in this argument here as to how willing you would be to buy everything for their children.
Definitely.
Well, if I'm bringing, I think, even if it wasn't my sister's, if I was bringing someone's child with me on a trip anywhere, I would plan to be paying for that child for whatever they needed.
I mean, I don't know. That's not how any trip I've ever been on where like other children came has ever worked. But also it was last minute. It was just like right at the last minute. It's like, oh, you're not bringing them without us?
Well, imagine that too. Like so if it's the cousins, but let's say it's their parents. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we're taking this great family trip the day before. Fuck all of you. We're going to hang out.
We're staying home.
And we're staying home because we're sick of these kids. Like, what's the impact on the kids, Like, so it's like, oh, they miss a trip with their cousin. Well, these kids are like, oh, our parents don't give a shit about us. They want to go get smashed, at some 4th of July party. And there's a lot of dynamics going on here.
Guys, I think I steered us down a wrong road because there's an essential thing that we're forgetting. I love dogs.
Right.
Dogs. I started this. It's my bad. Mea culpa. Dogs are not children.
That's true.
That 10-year-old.
I definitely started.
I called Austin his child.
Tony started.
Right.
I went directly and deliberately straight down that path, actually.
Well, I guess here's my point. I'm not saying that I'm not like devaluing dogs, but I will say that like I would have a lot harder time leaving a human child who could then be like, my uncle doesn't want to take me camping, and then like that dog's never gonna say that to me.
So
no, but it'll feel it in its soul.
You think? That's what I want to know. We need to get the dogs in here.
We need a dog expert on consciousness and intelligence
we need a
of
dog
dogs.
psychic in here.
That's
what we need.
I just want to make Caesar Milan. Yeah,
I'm just saying, if somebody was like, "Do you want to take care of 5 dogs or 5 children?" I'm picking the dogs every time.
I don't know. It depends on the ages of the children. I feel like some children aren't too bad. Especially if I'm going camping, I just send them out of the... this is how I would, as a non-parent, camp with these children. I would send them outside and close the doors and...
And you're 100% correct to do that. I mean, that's
Just
exactly
tell them,
how
don't
you
come
parent.
back
You get
unless
it.
you're bleeding or someone is on fire.
Yeah,
That's what I got told.
I have
as
to
a
worry a
child.
little bit more about them not making it back.
That's how the whole Silent and Greatest Generation were raised. Like, go outside, come back when the street lights are on, or I'm kicking your ass.
Right. And if you made
turned
any
out
money while
fine.
you were out there, give it to
Give
me.
it to me. Well,
Look what they did. They elected Ronald Reagan, Dave.
oh, they did. They did
shit,
elect
they did
Ronald
do that.
Reagan.
Reagan.
The older ones elected.
Making a lot of appearances in this 4th of July.
Making it back.
The older ones also elected the likes of Richard Nixon as well, but we need to not go down that road. This is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
We're missing a part of this, which is what I think I would do. I would take those 7 dogs on the way to this trip and drop them off at the mother-in-law's house for opening her mouth and fucking ruining everything.
Yeah, the mother. We didn't even talk about how the mother-in-law picked and the father. They
the
picked
mother-in-law
sides.
picked the side of the sister-in-law and made it seem like this lady is being an asshole.
Well, that's her like blood daughter, so you got to have her back.
That's true. That's true.
Still,
and,
though.
of course, you hate your daughter-in-law who married your son or whatever.
Firstborn, the heir to your land.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
You
get
fucking
it. Yeah.
hate him or
So-
hate her.
It's not that big of a deal. Here you go, Ma. You know,
Right.
here's the dogs. We're gonna go camp
Well, she's
on our
going to
own.
be on an ocean vacation. That's
why they're
the
taking
whole
their
thing.
dogs.
That's why they have their dogs because they're
What's
going to be
an
at
ocean
the ocean.
vacation?
I'm gonna guess
Are
like
they
a
going to
cruise.
the beach? Are they cruising?
Well, have you ever? There's a. They went on the
Going in the
submersible.
Titanic
Yeah,
submersible.
exactly.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Dare we
They're going
say
to
it?
see the Titanic.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. I'm in the camp of dogs are people too.
Don't paint me with that brush. That's not what I'm saying here. Don't do that to me.
No, I think that you can't skirt responsibility like that. If it's part of the plan for them to take the dogs all along, that's fine. But if at the last minute you're like, oh, by the way, we're not going. Also, can you buy the food? Also, I'm going to turn your mother-in-law against you
If you don't take them.
and you're abusing me. So like, it's just like he's just trying to gaslight and bully this person into taking their dogs, and that is definitely the asshole move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see a timeline of the expectations and like what people thought was happening when.
Right.
Because if this sister-in-law was like day before, you're not taking my dogs.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it seemed like it was definitely short notice, but that's the beauty of the Am I the Asshole stories. You only get one side. That's
only
all
get
you
one
ever
side.
get.
And you just have
get
to
to make up the rest of the
Wildly
details.
speculate.
There's only one addendum I would make that would make me reconsider it, and that would be if the happy campers are fucking nerds. Okay?
Right.
If they are just fucking dweebs, then, force the dogs on them and go get smashed American style.
Have your party.
what would be the activities that would make them camping dweebs and deserving of 7 dogs?
iPad use the whole time.
Well, sure.
Like a
They need to get out in the
thing
real
set
world.
up.
How many pockets are on those shorts?
Well, we don't got to get personal. This is turned on me.
No, not you. I'm talking them. Like, hey, how many different compartments are in those cargo shorts? If it's more than 14,
Well, I
then
mean,
you're taking the dogs, and I'm saying
They're wearing them camping. I mean, you want to
Gotta
have
be
a thing for all your
prepared.
camping stuff and all
Especially if
your
you're taking
pockets.
care of 7 dogs.
Right.
Right.
I
And
mean,
one of them
that's
needs
true.
special treats.
Right.
Yeah.
are you a whistler?
I am. Should I?
See, you'd be perfect to take my dogs
Yeah.
for a
Your
trip.
dog.
Right.
All right.
You know who's watching Austin now from now on.
Jim,
Jim.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's a good boy.
I like dogs. He's a good boy. I'm a good boy. We're gonna get along.
Perfect.
good. But they're gonna plan a trip to go on with you and then give you the dog at that last moment.
Yeah. We're going to let you know like 30 minutes before we leave. We're just going to drop him off.
You're gonna
Yeah.
put the dog in your car. And
You'll
then be
come to
like,
pick us up, and we'll just put Austin in the car and then close the door and walk back in the house.
lock the door.
Yeah, I think there are some of my siblings that I would definitely expect that to happen with. They're like, you just take my dog. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to know more about the sister and sister-in-law. I wanna
Yeah,
hear
we'll
their
never know though. We
relationship.
just got to
never
decide. We got to evaluate and judge with what we're given.
All right.
And I'm going with the girl that wrote this is the asshole. because
that
Austin
wrote
is my child, and if you're taking my child on a camping trip, and then all of a sudden you're not taking on a camping trip because I'm not going, then fuck yourself.
No, she's not the asshole.
Yep.
For sure not. No
You're gonna
way.
break my poor child's heart. And
You are
She's breaking
your
the laws
child's
of the
heart.
pack.
Auntie Sue doesn't want to hang out with you because you're not cool enough or you're too much work.
And I'm gonna tell
not
them
good
that their
enough.
parents don't love them enough to bring them on this trip.
Yeah, but who are they gonna believe? Their parents or Auntie Sue?
Obviously the cool aunt.
Yeah, the cool aunt that's not taking them on the trip.
The cool aunt
Sure.
that's rejecting them.
Yeah, that
wouldn't even
makes
buy
sense,
them
Linda.
food.
Yeah, won't even buy me my child ice cream or whatever.
I just imagine the dogs of the owners that aren't going in the back just staring at their owners as they drive away, like, why aren't you coming with us?
Right,
And that's the real
exactly.
heartbreak
I didn't
there.
even think about that.
I just
How
thought
are
it-
the dogs going to feel when you take them away from their owners?
I just also realized something that historically, if we are correlating these dogs to children, and this is an "Am I the Asshole" of everything episode of everything,
Oh
At Once, then
Oh no!
clearly the asshole
It's
is
the
actually the dogs.
Right.
It's the dogs.
Okay.
God damn it. The dogs are the assholes
you're
for
right.
being in the way
You're
and not being able to
Not
handle
being
fireworks.
self-sufficient enough.
And
If they weren't
But in
there,
fair-
if they weren't there, then the one happy couple could go camping and the other happy couple could go drinking, and there would be no argument.
there'd be
to
no
had.
problems.
That's true.
But in
Yeah.
fairness, that 10-year-old dog's 70, so like that he's not an asshole child.
He's
He's an
not.
asshole old man.
That's
Which
true.
those are the
Or
worst
girl,
kinds
we
of
don't
assholes.
know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of asshole men out there too. So
Yeah. Well, we don't know anything about the dogs, and I'm gonna keep the dogs. Even if your child is older, they're still your child, and they're still the asshole.
Speaking of
At least
children,
that's what I'm told as a non-parent here.
yeah, I'm also a non-parent, so I don't know.
Jim,
Wait,
Jim,
Are you a parent?
Is your child still your child even if they're old?
well, I'm dead. When my child is 70, it's not my problem anymore when my child is 70. It's on them now. Right. Do whatever they want with their dogs.
So do
when
you
they're
truly
70.
become an adult when your parents die then? Is that when that happens?
ooh, this
Dude,
just got.
this could take such a turn because my parents are alive, but I've recently been having the understanding of like looking at my parents and my aunts and my uncles and being like,
You're gonna
you're
die.
old. You're gonna die in probably not that long.
Shit.
So
Yeah, have you been taking care of yourself?
right,
guys?
clearly not. I'm sorry. Neither have I, but
I
got more time to turn it around.
Right,
you, huh?
One more time.
All right, so dogs are the asshole.
Dogs are the assholes.
And I'm finishing my decision right there.
Okay. I'm still sticking with the
sister?
main character is not the asshole. Sister-in-law is the asshole. The dogs are good boys.
I'm
Or
gonna
girls.
Say, I'm gonna say the
And
mother.
girls.
I'm gonna say the mother-in-law is the asshole.
yeah, that mother-in-law's just stirring shit, isn't she?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
she's just trying to make it a
Like, you
bigger
fucker.
problem.
Yeah, there was. Some,
You already have 3 dogs. What's the difference between 2?
And yet
boy?
again, the men defer responsibility for
Right,
conflict
just
resolution.
keeping the peace.
Let them all be assholes together.
I hate all these people. Someone take their dogs from them.
You don't find the best people on Reddit. I'm just gonna keep
No,
that really clear
especially
and
on the
upfront with everybody.
subreddit.
Yeah.
Speaking of children, let's go on to let's do at least one more.
Yeah,
here.
let's get it. I'm ready.
Am I the?
I'm a child expert. So this is good. This is what I was brought in for.
Am I the asshole for sitting in front of a stroller with a baby in it at my city's 4th of July fireworks show? Title explains it all. I saw a decently sized patch of grass in front of a stroller and decided to put my chair there. I was a good 4 to 5 feet from the stroller. As soon as I sat down, the little kid's dad asked me to move because I was blocking his son's view. I told him that I wouldn't because there really wasn't anywhere else to sit, and that his son was too young to even remember the fireworks anyways.
Wow.
He gave me the stink eye and started mumbling under his breath, which I ignored. Am I the asshole?
That one's short and simple,
Short and simple.
sweet and to the point.
How did we get any information on how old the child
Yeah.
in
In
the stroller is?
the comments section,
How old is a child in a stroller, though?
In the
Like,
it can
comment-
be
Yeah,
such
I
a
feel like
long
it can range.
17.
It can really range.
right.
in the comment section, because I did look a little further, he said the child couldn't have been any older than 6 months.
Okay.
Oh, well,
So an infant.
is an infant.
How dare he tread on that infant's
Freedom.
Fucking freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, like, a 6-month-old can't even see very far, can they? Like,
a 6-month-old can't.
they
like,
can barely make out shapes.
They're not going to remember it.
They have no idea what's happening. They're probably going to be
6-month-old
terrified.
are not people. Like,
No.
dogs are more people than 6-month-olds. I'll get on record with that. Dogs are more.
Hot take.
Hot
That
take.
I feel like that man was doing that baby a favor because that baby was going to be scared. He was saving it of the loud noises and the really bright lights. It was probably going to freak that baby out.
He was still out there because it's still going to be loud, but now this baby's not going to have any context. He's not going to see
He's going to hear loud
fireworks.
noises.
Be staring at some old man's back the whole time. What's happening here?
Be traumatized,
Right.
be like so scared of old men for the rest of his life and not know why.
I can never stand behind an old man.
turn around.
Ever.
Grandpa, don't turn around.
Lines? No way.
See, I think the secret here, like, what's really going on here is there's like an intergenerational conflict going on between, like, I could see myself in this situation so easily that I tell some old man, like, hey, sir, could you please move so my child could see? And then being like, fuck off.
Right.
But
Yeah,
what
your
is-
child's not even going to remember this.
I'm going to grumble behind you for damn sure I am,
But
sir.
what if you have like a wife, your wife with you or something, and she's like, no, I want the little Johnny to see. Make this happen.
Plus,
I want you to get that man out of our way.
oh my
Get him
God.
out of our. Kick his ass, Jim.
It's 100% not what my wife sounds like. Just to be clear.
There's also the question of what the fuck is this guy doing by himself to go see
Right.
a fireworks show? If he's on
He's an
Reddit,
American,
he has to be like at
Tony.
least 30 years old, I feel like, because Reddit's really like our generation kind of.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know
I was
what I
picturing
mean?
him like a grumpy old man with like khakis up above, like up to
Yeah,
his
sits
nipple
on-
line.
That could definitely.
Yeah, but he's not on Reddit.
He's not
That's
on
true.
Reddit.
That's fair.
Because I was gonna say the old people. Like I was walking around my neighborhood the other day, and I saw 3 different instances of old people, old men, all old men, just sitting in lawn chairs in their grass, just
Yeah, they
staring
love
at
that.
nothing. They love it.
love that.
They love just sitting in grass and
And just
chairs.
staring
Dude, I
out
al-
into space.
I always
Take your
kind of
shirt
admire
off.
that.
Yeah.
When we were on whenever I go on a plane, there's always like one old guy who doesn't have any headphones, no book, nothing to watch, no laptop.
He's meditating on the wonder of
He's just
flight.
taking-
That's what he's doing.
Raw dog in that flight. The whole,
Right. He's
whole
gonna talk
4
to like the
hours.
17-year-old girl next to him
No,
about
they
like
don't even do that, dude. They just sit
don't
there and
talk
just
at
like.
all.
stairs.
Yeah,
He might read the pamphlet on the back of the book or in the back of the seat in front of him.
I
or
watched
something.
this. I watched this. He was sitting in like a nice little slice of shade, and I had to like turn around and look back as I was walking by because he was just like smiling, not toothy, but he had a grin on his face, and he was just staring. I look back. What's he staring at? He's staring at the side of his fucking house. Like there's nothing there. I'm like, what is going on here? And it's kind of peace, that like I feel like we don't get in the generation. We got our phones. We're always distracted. But like,
I'm getting there though. I feel like I'm starting to like just to sit. Like
Yeah.
we went to a park and I just sat there. Someone like reading and stuff, and I just like laid on the ground.
like zone out.
It was it. It was perfect
Yeah.
for like an hour.
so it's okay. So it's like, it's a wonderful thing to just be able to pick out a patch of grass and sit down.
And if you can pick out a patch of grass in front of a 6-month-old baby and piss off their parents, all the more
Right.
wonderful if you're an asshole, I say.
Because you want to see those fucking fireworks.
Right.
like, who is this 30
You gotta
Take videos on your phone for all of your Facebook
Wouldn't
friends.
you guys agree, though, fireworks are as American as apple pie? So, like, he's out there being patriotic as fuck, watching those fireworks.
The rocket's red glare.
And that baby is trying to stop him.
He's trying to inhibit his freedom.
He's trying
Right.
to stop this man from enjoying his
That-
red-blooded American activities.
That baby doesn't even know any better to what he's doing.
No.
So
Stand
the
your
parent-
ground in front of that baby.
Exactly.
Their parents are the one who are in charge there that are trying to force their patriotism onto their young child
As
with
they
all their
should.
influence.
Those parents are the ones who probably sat there for half an hour of like, should I say something to this guy? I'm
Yeah.
gonna say something to this
They've
guy.
probably been there since
Hey, can you move?
they were there since like 5 o'clock in the afternoon to saving
Right.
that spot for the fireworks that are going to go on at 9 o'clock at night.
I want to
Well-
make sure my 6-month-old sees this. This is America.
Have you ever been to a concert outdoors, like an outdoor music venue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So like, if you're picking a spot and everything is filling up, and you're like, oh wow, there's a big spot directly in front of us that like someone could totally get in and totally just
They're
like
gonna be
obstruct our
6'8".
So, but that's my
Every
point.
time.
If you're there first and you're like, oh, look at this perfect patch of grass right here that someone could totally sit in front of us, why don't you just move up to that spot
That's true.
and leave the spot behind you?
That's true.
But like, what if there was a whole lot of grass in front of a person in a wheelchair? Would you be like, I'm gonna park here and watch these fireworks
Right in front of this
right
person.
in front of the person with wheelchair.
I mean, I feel like that's
It's not
different
my
than
fault,
this
bro.
situation because the person in a wheelchair is probably like sentient and can remember and like see the fireworks.
even more so, that baby, someone just put that baby there, and now this guy's
that could be
blocking that
against the
baby's
baby's will.
Yeah, the baby didn't ask for any of this. Just wants to see fireworks.
I feel
clearly.
like
Maybe its parents wanted to see fireworks
Right,
anyway.
right.
That baby
He probably
wants to
doesn't
stay
even want to be
home.
there. He
He
just
want-
want to be
Maybe
around
that
all
baby
those
doesn't
loud
even want to be
noises.
there.
He probably got left at home because his aunt took all 5 of his cousins camping, and they were like, "Your baby is not trained enough to come camping."
it depends on what type of wheelchair individual we have for this holiday. Is it more like
Go on.
Yeah, Dave. Please elaborate.
Yeah.
Is it more of like a Stephen Hawking or a Lieutenant Dan? Because if it's Lieutenant Dan, sir, you can have the whole entire field. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. You would never look Lieutenant Dan in the eyes and tell him he's not going to remember it anyway.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Unless that's mid-tier Lieutenant Dan, you know, like Times Square Lieutenant Dan when he was drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't remember
He's got,
that.
but
so.
he's got his magic legs now, so this wouldn't even be. What are we talking about?
Well, he might take a seat. Those titanium legs got to get rough every once in a while. Grassy spots have a very dark history in America, though. He might be doing
Grassy
this.
knolls.
Grassy knolls. This guy might be doing the dad and son a favor. Look at what happened to JFK. If someone would have sat in front
Right.
of him, he would
That's
still be
true.
alive.
He could be
He wasn't
saving
sitting
that
on a
baby's
grassy
life.
knoll, though. He was in the back of a Cadillac.
He was in the back of a Cadillac, but they say that the shot was from the grassy knoll. If someone was in the grassy knoll blocking the way, they would have got the bullet through their head, and we would still have a great president alive.
JFK would still be here today.
Those grassy knolls look pretty full of people, Dave.
Guys, everyone knows the CIA accidentally shot him and covered it up.
We
I don't
Was it
think there was an
accidentally?
accident about it.
Accidentally, yeah. The guy was like hungover. He fell over with his
No,
AK.
so we need to stop with this because the last time we brought
Yeah,
the
last time
CIA up on the show,
we
the
talked-
power went out.
Yeah.
We'll save this for the November 6th podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Then, the last time we talked about conspiracy theories, the power went out. They were definitely out there listening.
They're definitely listening, and they know they killed Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Be careful.
It's cool.
It
I'm
works.
already on the list.
No,
It's
we
fun.
weren't. We
Right.
weren't paying attention.
Could you
It's because we weren't live this time.
We weren't live. We were live last time. Could you imagine, though, how fucking annoying it is to have to deal with a baby behind you? Like
6-month-old
no,
during the
6-month-old
fireworks.
baby.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Why would you
That
want to
would
sit
be
in front
really
of a
annoying,
6-month-old
yeah.
during fireworks?
Yeah.
He's gonna cry
Seems
and
like a
scream
bad
and yell.
decision.
This person sounds
He's
like he's
punishing
some kind of
himself.
dark wizard who like thrives on the tears of children. It's like, I gotta sit here to keep functioning.
I mean, even if the baby started crying and he got annoyed, I feel like he would just sit there out of spite regardless.
At
Once
that
the
point, yeah.
once the dad asked him to move, he's like, nothing.
not moving."
Nothing will move me
Right.
from this spot.
Not the
Your
police.
kid's on wheels, man. Move your kid.
Yeah.
What would it take, like, for someone to get you to move from a prime piece of real estate during a fireworks show? Like,
Not very much,
Yeah,
man.
exactly what this dad said. I would be
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I'm
Well,
so
what-
sorry. I want you to like me. Bye.
what
Like,
type of person? Like, if it was like a 10-year-old kid, would you move?
more than a 6-month-old kid?
But what's
Honestly.
the cutoff? Like, what's the sweet spot? Because
First
if
off-
they're 17, fuck them.
Yeah, if they're 17, they're hooligans. They're
Yeah.
like watching it from under the bandstand or something
I
while
really
they're making out,
don't
smoking
give
grass.
too many fucks about fireworks that everybody's going to see at a park or at whatever, you know what I mean, an event. If we're shooting off fireworks in my backyard, there's plenty of room for them to move the child or for me to move or anything in this situation wouldn't happen. But I'm not going down to Dobbins Landing or Waldemere to watch fireworks. That's just me personally, so it wouldn't take. I'd just be like, okay.
I feel like we've never seen a truly dynamic fireworks show in Erie. I feel like if we were in a big city that really, really did it, you know, we would feel more impassioned about seeing that
Like
fireworks
one that went
show.
to music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I've never seen a fireworks show like that, I don't think.
Do you know they do fireworks every day at the Niagara Falls?
No, I didn't.
Every single day.
Wow.
Wow.
Isn't that ridiculous, dude? They got to spend like
I mean,
$200,000 on fireworks.
Maybe in like peak tourist season, but I've definitely
probably during the summer.
Yeah, during the summer, I bet they do it every day. But like I've been there in early spring, and they definitely weren't setting off fireworks.
Niagara Falls trying to bring some of that Disney World energy out.
Well, you probably
I mean, it is a pretty majestic place.
probably almost every day, at least of the summer, you have
Yeah.
at least one person proposing to another person,
That's-
and those fireworks
You want
really
those
just.
fireworks
Oh
going
yeah, you
off in
need
the-
those.
Maybe the dad was proposing to his baby mom. Maybe
I thought you were going to say
maybe
the
this guy.
baby.
Yeah, maybe you're
Proposed to that baby.
Propose
He's
to the
ruining
baby.
everything.
Ruining the moment,
Well,
sir.
Jeez.
You're supposed to propose before you have the baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
doesn't-
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's 2023.
Tony.
Take
That
it
was-
easy. Take
It's
it easy there.
2023,
Jeez.
Tony.
Family values Tony. over
Right.
here.
Sorry,
Bad.
sorry. The ghost of Ronald Reagan just inserted
Here he is.
itself in you there.
Ronald
Right through
Reagan's
me.
here with us.
That's how quick it happens, folks.
Right.
We had our wonderful host Tony, who's very progressive, just get fucking
Yeah. He
just
taken
got
over
just
by
said you
Ronald
should be
Reagan.
married before you have a
Momentarily.
baby.
It is very uncouth to have a child and then do a proposal.
Out of wedlock? How dare you?
It's yeah. I don't know what happened there.
That was
Play
really
with fire, you're gonna get burned.
that was off brand for you.
Yeah. Was Tony? Is this you? Did you sit in front of this baby?
I would sit. I would not sit in front of the baby. I wouldn't be at this place.
I'm gonna go with sticking with my streak, and that the baby is the asshole.
Oh, the baby's the asshole.
The baby is the asshole.
Yeah.
Maybe if it could stand up and move around, it could see the fireworks.
I'm gonna go with the dad as the asshole for bringing his baby to the fireworks that he has no desire to be at. Is probably gonna scare him and make him cry, and then ruin the fireworks for everybody else that's trying to enjoy it.
It's
It's
Yeah.
definitely
his
the
little
dad.
ear hairs. His
Yeah.
hearing's gonna be damaged.
Unless he's deaf.
Or you put little headphones on him, or little earmuffs on him.
That just makes the writer a bigger jerk.
Yeah, I know.
Then he can't
You're
even
gonna
hear them.
sit in
This
front
guy's
of this
sitting in front of him.
disabled baby.
The kid can't hear them. He has to see them, and you're sitting in front of him.
Well, that's when you say this baby lost his hearing in Vietnam.
Ronald Reagan stole this baby's hearing.
Are we considering the fact that maybe the writer of this is a hero and he's trying to protect this baby from shrapnel?
That's
Like
that
firework
goes
shrapnel?
back. That goes back to the JFK thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
saying they're getting.
Maybe he
yeah.
is.
He could be. I'm still saying dad's the asshole.
He's not the hero we want, but he's the hero we
He's the
need.
hero we need right now, yes. This Redditor. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I think the dad's the asshole. The dad and the sister-in-law from the previous Am I the Asshole share some DNA of, like, your fucking kid doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
And, like, don't bother another adult about it with your kids.
Right.
Like, that's
What if-
my theory.
What if they did though?
A 6-month-old
A
kid?
6-month-old absolutely
way.
has no idea what's happening.
That's a
I don't
baby
know.
that might be sitting up, that might be smiling and chuckling.
Yeah.
I mean, your baby, it would scream the minute a firework went off.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible place to have a 6-month-old baby.
Yeah, but they look really cute when you put those headphones on, or like the earmuffs on.
Yeah, those are cute.
baby to
Right. Because we're rad parents.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Those are the moments that matter.
yeah, those.
How
are the
many
ones
kids with headphones were at Dead and Co. Dave?
There was a few.
So many.
There
I'm
was
sure.
a few. Yeah,
I believe
there was
that. That's for sure.
There was a good amount.
Any
of very
6-month-olds
small-
and strollers?
There was a couple babies there. There were a few
Holy crap.
babies. But then there was a gaggle of kids around like 4 to 10 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of
feel
those
like
ones.
exposing your children to Grateful Dead is like a very deadhead thing to do.
Yeah,
I feel
100%.
like it's very common,
100%.
so that doesn't surprise
Plus, I feel
me.
like the baby's probably going to enjoy Dead and Company a lot more than just a bunch of really loud.
And
Yeah.
random bangs and bright lights? What?
yeah.
That's possible, but just as it's a very deadhead thing to do, taking your baby to a fireworks show is the most patriotic
That's
American
true.
thing.
Yeah.
Very
you can do.
American.
And this
very
is 4th of
American.
July,
America.
after all.
This is the 4th of July, and we love our country.
This has been super great, you guys. I'm glad that we were able to put down the hammer of justice and determine whether or not these people were assholes. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm a little
thank you
concerned
so
about your
much.
politics and conservatism now, Tony, but it's cool.
I'm not
I
the
mean,
friend that you thought you had before.
Right, I feel a little
apologize for that.
blindsided by that, but it's cool. I'm glad to be
It happened out of nowhere. It took one episode of 4th of July, Am I the Asshole, to turn Tony
We just
into a
had to
staunch
mention the
Republican.
ghost of Ronald Reagan,
Right.
and he knew where to
He
go.
can't-
He knew where to go.
You guys kept calling him here. It wasn't my fault, man.
true.
Yeah.
I was
That's true,
inhabited
we did.
taking over. I apologize to all you people out there.
Yeah.
Next episode, we'll figure out how he picked Tony out of the four.
Right.
Next episode is us exercising Tony.
That's a good idea.
That's a good one too. That'll be fun.
Oh, exercising, like getting
Like
Getting the
Reagan's
ghost
ghost. I
of
thought we were
Ronald
going
Reagan.
to have a video podcast of Tony exercising, and I was
No.
going to unsubscribe.
No.
For sure.
We're getting an Antifa priest in here, and we're gonna have him exercise Tony.
It'll
We're
be-
getting the ghost
it'll
of
be great.
Ronald
Tune in
Reagan.
next
out.
We'll
It'll
Tune
be
in
Bernie
next week.
Sanders in here to exercise
yes,
Tony.
Bernie Sanders is coming to
Bernie
get rid of the
Sanders, if
ghost
you're
of Ronald
listening.
Reagan.
We're gonna
I
have the
desperately need your help.
we're gonna have the first ever
coming to
trickle
you
down
again.
exorcism.
Trickle down exorcism.
Thank you everybody for listening. We hope you all enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, follow, all of that fun stuff. Y'all are the best. Peace out.